What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another video today, and in this video I'm going to be taking a look at the JC Wings May 2024 releases. The releases have been posted on Wednesday, April 24th, and we've got both scales represented fairly well. So let's go ahead and get into it. First release that we've got a Dragonair 737-200. That's a nice livery with the red cheat line and everything. And looks like we got an iAero DHL hybrid 738 freighter. That is a nice choice. I know Gemini, they did one of those DHL 737s back in, it was early 2021, I think. Yeah, it was. But I think it was a full DHL. It didn't have the iAero winglets. Then we have the British Concorde. This is the 1970s livery. Then this was a late addition to the hints post that they made for 1 to 200 scale. Pretty nice release there. And below that, we've got a Shanghai Airlines 737 MAX 8. Got a couple more down at the bottom. We've got a Garuda Indonesia 777-300ER. This one has both a normal and a flaps down release. And we've got an A300 below that, the Monarch A300 with the Leisure Airline of the Year sticker just above the wings. Then over on the right side, we've got a Air China 737-800 with some kind of special livery. Looks like a flower on it with a teal top. And then we've got a Mexicana 727-200. I think they hinted at this subliminally in a previous post. And we got a Condor A321 with the blue livery, the C livery or whatever you want to call it. Then we have the Azul A320neo with the Walt Disney World livery. Nice old picture of Mickey Mouse on the tail. And we've got the Black Fern Air New Zealand -8 Q300. A very nice livery. I like the Black Fern. It's a nice livery. And then we've got a BOAC Vickers VC10. That is a very unique choice from JC Wings. I don't see them making too many VC10s these days. Kind of wish Gemini would bring that back. And then as we move over to part 2, we've got a Thompson.co.uk 767-200. This is a Britannia hybrid. Then a One World Malaysia A330-300 with that special livery. I can't remember how to pronounce that for the life of me, so I'll just avoid saying it for now. They have a KLM 737 Classic. I think this is a 300 in this case. This one has the worldwide reliability sticker. I know it's hard to see, but that's what I can tell. And then a Korean Air 747-400. This one is a normal and a flaps down release, so 2 additional releases for this one. And then a Qatar A380 with the current livery. They still got a few of these flying around. I'm not sure if they're going to get rid of them here soon. Then we have an Egypt Air 737. I want to say that's a 500. Because to me, the design it looks like a classic to me. It's not the, 700 or whatever. I think it's a 735 in this case. I'll go with that for now until I see otherwise. Then we have a Uni Air ATR 72. At least I think it's Uni Air. It's very similar to the EVA Air livery, so I wouldn't be shocked if those two airlines were related. I don't know too much about that, though. Then we have a United Star Alliance 777-200. This is with the blue tulip livery and with the logo and the engine being painted in the respective colors for the time. And then an American Airlines 747-100 freighter, the American Freighter livery. Now that's a rarity. And then we have an interesting hybrid here. This is a 2E A320 with a Global X hybrid. And I know Gemini did this in 1 to 200 scale back in December of last year. Surprised they haven't done a 400 scale release yet. And then we have a Transavia 757-300. I believe this is a Monarch hybrid because I recognize like the orange or yellow bottom of the aircraft. I think that's part of the old Monarch livery. And then we have an Air France Saab 340 below that, and then a new mold being debuted by JC Wings, and also it is a future release, so it won't be available just yet. We have the Fly Scoot Embraer E190-E2. So I'm assuming Gemini is going to start making that at some point when more airlines get the E190-E2. We know for sure they've got the 195-E2 because they've done a couple of that, and I've got the Porter release in 400 scale. Lovely model, would recommend it. And do notice as well on the caption they said, some collectors notice we changed a bit than first guessing because of the QC and uncontrollable issues, but those models will release again later time this year. So basically what they're saying is we changed some of the releases because of quality control and other related issues that are out of our control, but we do plan to release those models again later in the year. And then we move up to 1 to 400. This is my stuff right here. We've got a JAL E170 with a special livery of some kind. Again, I'm not very fluent in understanding those special liveries, so if somebody wants to let me know what that is, feel free to leave a comment. Then we have a Peach A320 Neo, a nice pink livery here. I think that's their standard. And then a Dragonair Cargo 747-300 freighter. Now this is interesting because the 300, it's essentially like a 744, but just without the winglets. They lengthen the upper deck. And then we have a Cathay Pacific 777-200 ER. I don't know if this is Hotel November Lima, which is the first ever 777 built. It may be a different registration, but I'll have to obtain that information. And then we've got an MD-11 house livery. Now, I have one of these from JC Wings already, although I think it is a different livery. I'll have to check that when I get the chance. Then a Sunwing 737 MAX 8. So, okay, pretty interesting. That's just about up my alley. And then we have a Capital Airlines A319. So we have another one of the Chinese carriers represented here in this release. China Southern A350-900 with a normal and flaps down release included. Asiana A321 Neo. There's a Khalida Air DHL Hybrid 763 freighter. Then we have a Ryanair 737-800 with some type of special sticker. The image quality is not the best on Instagram, so can't say for sure what that is. And then below that, another Lufthansa here. We have a 735, I believe that is. And even more over here on part 2. So we got a Thai 777-300 ER. A DHL Air Hong Kong A330-200 freighter. And they have this Mercado livery thing again. They keep doing this, and NG did a 738 as well. This is a 737-400, I want to say. A future release up next, we have a Tiger Air A320 Neo, which has the Airbus A320 Neo sticker on the back. They have an old livery KLM ATR 72. And then a State of Kuwait 737-900. I believe this is a government plane. Yeah, it would be, because it's not Kuwait Airways. And then we have an E7A Wedgetail being released here. I can't tell for sure who operates this. It may be South Korea or Japan, I want to say. And then below that, we have another, the E190E2, so both scales getting it with the Scoot release, also future announcement here. Oh, this will be nice. This is another one of these, United 747-400. They just did one of these last year, I remember, so I wonder if this is the remainder of that batch. But I already have the Gemini release from 2013, so I'll probably pass up on it maybe, or maybe I'll get this one and sell my Gemini one, because I know that one is still quite valuable. I have the 2013 release. I think that one still holds quite a bit of value. Finnair MD-80, I know a couple of guys will be happy to see that. We have a Condor A330-200. This one I believe is one of the least aircraft, because it only has just the tail painted, which in this case is the green livery. They didn't paint the rest of the aircraft. Then we have a 747-8 BBJ of some kind. I can't tell for sure who operates this, but that is pretty interesting. It's not Qatar, as far as I can tell. We have a Korean Air 748. This one has another special livery. And then a Cargolux freighter below that. And then our last release, we have an Air Canada 787-9 with a congratulations sticker. Also normal and flaps down, and a future release in that part as well. So that is all of the releases that we have from JC Wings this month. Overall, pretty solid announcement again, with lots more representation from across the world. Nothing too outstanding, really, in my opinion, for what I would get into my collection, other than that United 744. If I didn't have one of those already, then I'd definitely be getting that. But I know JC, the pre-order windows are so inconsistent, so I never try to pre-order from any other manufacturer than Gemini, and sometimes NG. Just depends on what's available. The Finnair MD-80 will be pretty nice as well. I know one guy that will be very, very happy to see that. And then, just taking a look here, see what else is in the 400 scale. The MD-11 house livery. Again, I already have one from JC, which I think is in a slightly different livery. It has some blue on it, if I remember correctly. I picked that up in around the time I went to Chicago in 2019. But it wasn't from that trip. It came in a different shipment. And then in 1 to 200, we have the Mexicana 727 is nice, and also the British Concorde. And then that American Freighter 74 and the Star Alliance 777 for United with the blue tulip livery. That's looking pretty nice. And the E190E2 making its debut here from JC. Not sure who else exactly has the E190E2 on order that's notable other than Scoot. I'll have to look into that and see what other carriers can be done, but I don't think anyone here in the States has it on order. I thought SkyWest maybe had some on order, but I'll have to look again. But it will be pretty interesting to see more of those come out in the future. So with that being said, that is the end of the video. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next video.